Hello everyone and welcome to Charlotte. We are here live with Stirling Sim Racing here with the senior circuit, and tonight we will be going around 68 miles of Charlotte Motor Speedway. Honestly, I am incredibly excited to see what these street stocks can do. This is going to be a promotion for the Out of This World Team Racing Series, presented now on Stirling Sim Racing, where you and an AI team partner are going to be taking on everyone else in themselves and their own AI partner, where you get to choose a little bit of their characteristics and see who can determine the best team there is out there. And remember, if you miss a race, your AI is still there too. So honestly, make sure you can go and check out Stirling Sim Racing here today. With that, let's go and run through our grid we have here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. All right. So, starting on row number 1 in the inside lane, and their first start is going to be Jess Chambers, and on the outside is going to be Jason Shermatz. Row number 2 inside lane in third position is going to be Clinton Chambers, and then Matt Semperk is going to be on the outside in 4th. Fifth position is going to go to Ken Passmore, and Kevin Bruner is going to be on the outside in 6th. Row number 4 inside lane is going to go to Les Bentz, and then on the outside is going to be Denny Passmore. Ninth position in the inside lane is going to be Michael Hartman, and then John Shermatz on his outside in 10th. 11th goes to Bill Shermatz, and then Angela Sibinoli there on the outside there in 12th. Row number 7 inside lane is going to go to Steve Myers with Bill Watkins on the outside in 14th. 15th is going to go to the number 3 of Lisa Hudson, and then Scott Case is going to be on their outside. 17th position is going to go to Alex Gustafson in the number 2, and then Mike McNeil is going to be on their outside. Row number 10 inside lane is going to go to Anthony P. Carino Jr., and then Scott Whiteman is going to be on their outside. Andrew Cowart brings up 21st position, and then Tom Adornos is going to be there in 22nd. Finally, in 23rd and 24th, we have Ian Sudal and then Susan Flint. We have a huge lineup of vehicles, 24 cars tonight. That is insane. It is so good to see this many cars out, especially for the senior circuit and for Stirling Sim Racing. They put on fantastic racing events, so make sure you go and check them out today. I want to thank everyone that has come out so far so that you can see this fantastic race we're going to have. And thank you once again to Pierce Graphics for putting together our overlay package here tonight. Scott Whiteman is the guy that puts on this entire show here with Stirling Sim Racing, and he does a fantastic job of that. And, you know, having this huge field of cars is going to only show the kind of things they can do, especially when they promote clean and exciting racing, especially that you can find over in the Out of This World Team Racing Series. Well, with that, the pace car is now going to pull off here on our out lap, and wait for it. A little bit longer of a wait. Green flag and not quite. There we go. Green flag and away we go. I don't know why they wanted to wait so long on that one. But everybody's off to a good start. We see Jess Chambers off to a little bit of a blinky start there. However, the number 77 of Jason Shermatz is doing a pretty good job right now. Staying in second position on the outside lane is Clinton Chambers there on the bottom in the 58 bright green street stock there as they all race by in turn number 2. You can see the long train of cars that they have all tonight. Kenneth Passmore in the 07 is going to be on the bottom there. As you can see, they're running almost 3 wide there as they head into turn number 3. A lot of movement right now throughout the field with these guys. They have 45 laps. That's equate to about 68 miles that they're going to be doing here in the street stocks. It's going to take about half an hour to get around all this, and I think it's going to show with how they are going to be handling the speed of their vehicles. Down the backstretch now into turn number 3. Jess Chambers continues to lead the field with Matt there in second position in the 12th car, and then Clinton Chambers there still in third. We've seen Clinton before in the senior circuit dominate these kind of series and do a fantastic job of putting on a show. We're going to see what he's going to be able to do here tonight. A lot of these guys are in their first starts, but not quite everyone is. As I said before, we've seen Clinton Chambers before, and Jason Shermatt specifically as well, along with Scott Whiteman, but not a lot of these guys really are in their first starts. We're going to head over and see who is doing, aside from Jess Chambers in the first starts, there of Matt Simrick right now, still running in second, getting pressured by Clinton Chambers right now, and Kenneth Passmore not too far behind. Kevin Bruner there, who has raced with us before in the 68, is keeping up very well. As you can see, everyone is able to keep themselves in a pretty reliable state right now. As soon as I say that, though, the 07 almost loses it there in turns 1 and 2. He's got a good handle on it, though. They have very limited fuel. Only 27% of the fuel is in the street stocks here tonight, so you're going to see a lot of pit stops, especially as this is going to be a longer race for them. Clinton Chambers there riding the paint as he goes and squeezes Matt there into the wall. There's going to be some contact there for the 12. You tell he's a little bit slower now after destroying all of his momentum there. Clinton Chambers very aggressive, trying to get up to the front, and I think trying to protect his teammate there, as the Chambers are now leading the field. Kenneth Passmore still in third now in that 07, doing a good job of staying up front, as we now are starting to see the number 77 of Jason Shermatt starting to make a little bit of a comeback, as we see the 98 of Michael Hartman pull down a little bit onto the 6 of Denny Passmore. However, Danny was able to hold onto it, my apologies, and they are continuing to run it pretty smoothly. 67 there of Les Benz rounds out your first field, and then bringing up the second here is going to be Angela Spinelli in the 7. John Shermatt's there in the 00, is the guy that likes to run the senior circuit, and I know that he's also a key member over in G2. Let's see him doing a pretty good job here tonight, running in 12th, as he's got Bill Watkins there right behind in the 337. See Scott Whiteman there in his Everyman's Book Club number 17 Ford Mustang street stock, trying to catch up right now to the 71 of Bill Shermatt's. Hopping back up the front turns a little bit, we're starting to see a bit of a battle form between a lot of these guys. It looks like Clinton Chambers is now out towards the lead. Jess Chambers currently struggling with connection issues right now, as they are going to be on the outside, getting a slight push there from Kevin Bruner. However, the 58 there of Clinton is going to be continuing to lead this race, as they're going to be heading on to lap number 8 of 45. Now, if there's someone I know that wants to get back up to the front, I should say directly to the front, that is, even though they are in the main pack, there is that 12 of Matt Semrick, because he, you know, as we saw earlier, got squeezed there by the 58 of Clinton, and he is not happy about it. You can tell from his driving style, he's trying to be a little bit more aggressive to see if he can get back up there and make a difference. That is some of the goals that these guys have, and I don't blame them. The good part is he is back where he started. That is one of the great things here about Pierce Graphics that you're able to get in terms of information, is all of your driver information. So if you want to make sure you get your fantastic driver overlays, go ahead and check out Pierce Graphics. Kenneth Passmore still running in second now. He's been on a consistent move of a train right now after he started up a little bit further and then now has fallen back, but now being back up into second is a great spot for him, though, as he does have Matt there right on his outside, though. Not his outside, right on his bumper, though, right behind him. He's going to be looking to the outside, but it looks like this is not the time to do it. Through the quad oval is a very scary area, especially in the street stocks when you're all going in a pack full throttle. As soon as you start hitting that quad oval section, all the cars start getting a little bit loose and all want to slide to the outside. As we see, there's the 07 pulls onto the apron as they're now running 3 wide off the exit at turn 2. The 581. Man, I am struggling tonight. There is doing all right now. He's able to file back in. However, Jess Chambers almost lost it, though. Going down the backstretch. That is very unfortunate. You want to keep a good eye on that to make sure that does not happen. Getting involved in a wreck, especially this early on, you know, we're only on lap 10 of 45. Well, 11 now. Still, this early on is just a death sentence because it means that you're going to be sent to the rear, and when everyone is in the exact same kind of a speed of a car and the tire wear is not instantaneous like it is in the NASCAR Cup Series vehicles, it just makes it that much more difficult. You can see to the gap to the leader, though, on your left-hand side of your screen, you can see everyone up from 1st till 8th is within 1 second of the leader. That's how close everyone is packed up in this thing. They are all just about able to be thrown under a blanket. Clinton Chambers is doing the best he can, trying to run away with this thing. However, he is only in a street stock. He can't just accelerate out of all the turns faster than everyone else. It's not about throttle application. It's about making sure he takes the ideal line every time and does not let anyone with a run get through. Got to make that car 3 lanes wide if possible. Round turn 3 and 4 they go now. You can see that 58 is doing a great job of holding on to it. And back a little bit further, we can see that the number 14 of Andrew Cowart was able to take a position there over the 7 of Angelo Spinelli. And now we see that Steve Myers there in the number 1 nationwide is trying to catch back up as Scott Whiteman has moved up into 13th position. The 00 of John Shermatz has fallen back a little bit now into 14th. You can see the rear of your field here. I know that it does not seem like a lot, but these guys are very competitive with each other, especially when everyone is in the exact kind of same speed of the vehicles. They're very close to the wall out there. It's not just Scott, but everyone else around there is as well. That makes it very dangerous. If you make a mistake, there is a caution out now as everyone slams on their brakes. That is a huge wreck up there. We're going to make sure we take a rewind and see just what happened. All right, just as I was saying, you're going to start seeing some of these guys be very aggressive with each other, and it's going to lead to some issues there. You see the 98 and the 12 there, Michael Hartman and Matt Semmerk right now racing there off the exit of turn number 4. It looks like the 12 is just a little bit too close up there. I think there's a hair and neck code there. 98 clips him and sends the 12 absolutely careening there into the infield. The 98 very barely misses there. The 6, although that does collect the 68, though, of Kevin Bruner, which makes it that much harder for him as he's now into the wall. You can see the new damage model there, allowing the front bumper to pull off, which is pretty cool. That's one good about iRacing is they do keep a consistent effort trying to improve all their stuff, but it looks like everyone else is able to slow down in a pretty reasonable fashion to make sure that they did not get into too much more trouble. All right, and as I figured, we are now going to start seeing a lot of these guys in the pit road. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen, absolutely everyone is in the pits, minus your top 3 up here of Jason Shermatz, Jess Chambers, and Bill Watkins. Imagine right now they're trying to play a little bit different of a strategy in terms of fuel, tires, and anything else they can. Tire changes in these vehicles takes a very long time, as the pit crews are not professional NASCAR pit crews, and well, something tells me the regulations don't quite allow for it either. However, now they're able to escape pit road, and they're going to start accelerating back up towards the front of your field, where Jason Shermatz is going to be able to lead the field off of this start and continue this race to complete the Stirling Sim Racing 68. Thank you to Stirling Sim Racing for giving us the sponsor of this race. Make sure you check out the Stirling Sim Racing Out of This World Racing Series, where it's going to be you and an AI teammate taking on the rest of the world. And you're going to be able to change a few things about them, like I said earlier, when it comes to their aggressiveness or pit strategy, anything like that within a reasonable format, given a formula, which will be provided through their information. But then you might be able to choose their manufacturer if that is applicable, if it's like a NASCAR vehicle. Plus, you might be able to choose their paint scheme too. And then it's going to be you and your teammate taking on everybody else and their teammate to see what you're able to do. It's a great field filler, and it's going to make for some fantastic racing later on. So make sure you check out Stirling Sim Racing today, especially as they like to promote clean, exciting racing. Well, as we head down the backstretch here at the historic Charlotte Motor Speedway, you can see the iRacing.com pace car currently leading the field as Jess Chambers is still struggling with a little bit of connection issues. It looks like your field has gotten changed up a little bit more, though. You can see Danny Passmore there in the number 6 has made it to 4th position. That is going to put him in a good spot. He's got to make sure he can hold off someone that is trying to get right back up to the front, though, like Clinton Chambers. You can see got that damage repaired after his incident with the 12. Alright, well, and with that, we are now going to be leaving turn number 4. We can follow your field now as they head into the quad oval. And it's a little bit longer than I like to think. And there it is, green flag, and away we go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here with the Sim Racing 68. You can see that is some aggressive driving we're seeing out of everybody else there, almost making it 3 wide, a bit middle of the pack as everybody starts to take off heading into turn number 1. Clinton Chambers there trying to make sure that he can keep everyone in their place so that he can get up to the front as fast as possible. We know he's fast. We've seen it before. He's got to play this thing smart, though, if he wants to continue making it up towards the front, as the 77 and the 581 are currently taking away as they're 3 wide, and they collide there down the backstretch of the 12. Sends it down low, and he shoots it back up the racetrack. He loses it, though, almost takes out the 1. They're 3 wide still. He shoots back up the racetrack. That is going to bring out your next caution, the 12. Just absolutely destroyed. And a not very pretty situation at that. Well, with that, let's go and take a look and see just what happened this unfortunate event here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We resume in game here as we are following along with the number 12. He pulls down, trying to get around there on the bottom, makes it 3 wide. The 6 is still trying to ride that middle. I think he gets a little bit bumped from the 58. That sends everybody into a frenzy. Andrew Coward there rams into the rear of the number 1 as everyone starts checking up and gets into a really weird spot. The 12 able to really stick it there down low, and that allows everyone to kind of race along the high side, but it just isn't enough as the 12 is not able to save it as they head back up, and a huge slam into the 11, and I believe that is the 67 there. That just absolutely destroys the field. Scott Whiteman barely avoiding that there in his number 17 Ford Mustang. And that has sent a lot of guys back down into pit road and has brought your field back out to a yellow. As I had said before, the pit road stops take quite a while when you get a lot of damage repaired, so I'm sure you're going to see a lot of these guys trying to avoid going down pit road as much as possible. These cautions, though, do play into fuel strategy. That is going to be something you have to keep your eye on here at Charlotte. You only have 27% of your fuel in the vehicle, meaning you're going to have to make a lot more pit stops than you'd like to. Although I imagine with the fuel efficiency and their tank size, that I imagine you probably only have to stop once or twice with some decently long runs. I'm not quite sure. But right now it looks like they're getting everything okay so far. But everyone that is, I believe everyone now has come down pit road at least once. Just going to make that thing just a little bit more interesting. Bill Watkins now is going to be leading your field there in the 337. So you're going to be resuming back out 2 wide. You can see here that Watkins there started in 14th and has made it up to the lead. That is actually really good. Being able to start further back and staying out of trouble means that you are an intelligent racer. And being able to last out towards the front is the idea. So as long as Watkins continues to play it smart and is able to hold off Chambers and Passmore there, he is going to be in a great spot looking forward. All right, down the backstretch they are, heading into turn number 3 here at Charlotte. 68 miles. Lap number 21 will be resuming green on. That bright green at number 58 of Clinton Chambers is known to be a fast one here, especially within the senior circuit and Stirling Sim Racing. It's good to see him back out with us tonight, especially running up towards the front where we're used to seeing him. As we see now, the pace car pulls off of pit road as we head through the quad oval and enters the restart zone. They go in green flag. We're back going. 337 off to a fantastic start there. So a little bit 3 wide there in the quad oval. Yep, I already could tell that was going to happen. There it is. Caution's back out again here. Can't even get a lap in right now. Cautions breed cautions. It's a common saying you're going to hear. And, well, when you have incidents like that, it's kind of clear as to why. It's not really any driver particular's fault. It's just that, I don't want to say over-eagerness, but that eagerness to go. You want to get going. You want to get racing. We've seen that these guys can handle the long runs when it gets down to it. They just got to make sure they can get there in the first place. They handled that first start brilliantly. They just got to make sure that they do it once again. That has allowed Clinton Chambers, though, to come up into second position now, and that's going to put Bill Watkins in a little bit more of a limelight. All right, we come back now to follow along here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. What happened there on that last caution to see what brought it out? We're following along now with the number 6 of Danny Passmore. Goes up to the outside. Looks like he's just not fast enough on the restart there for the number 98 of Michael Hartman. He shoots up on the inside, and it looks like he just clips into him. It's not look intentional. Just takes him out. As I don't think they were expecting him to go 3 wide there, and that has sent the rest of the field there. A little bit of some chaos as they continue to go on through. Still 3 wide there, but it looks like everyone starts to settle out there as soon as they see that the yellow flag is out. Thankfully, unlike old NASCAR, you do not race to the finish once the yellow comes out, because that could only bring out more cautions, and I don't know what just happened there. Thanks, Dream. Anyway. Well, could be a lot worse. We'll put it that way. So, still, you hate to see those, rough incidents. We can see that again there. Going on with the number 6, we'll watch it live this time. You can see it's very fast. Does not look intentional. Everyone slows down and sends everyone else back up the racetrack. Well, rejoining live, we're still here with Clinton Chambers now up into first, Kenneth Passmore now up into second, and Michael Hartman there in the 98 in third. Hartman has been involved with a lot of incidents so far, but yet he's still able to manage himself out into the front as now Clinton Chambers pulls down at pit road, putting Kenneth Passmore, I think, up to his final goal that he has been trying to get to this entire race so far as we're about to hit the halfway mark. He is finally up towards the front. He's been waiting there this entire time for it. He's finally got it. Passmore in the lead. Still not one to go quite yet here within your field of Stirling Sim Racing and the senior circuit. Just a little bit longer, and we will be there. Do wish I had a little bit more to say, but sadly the street stocks, especially in a field I'm not too familiar with quite yet, does make it a little bit more difficult. But overall, you can see that these guys do have some speed behind them, and they're willing to make some aggressive moves to make this as interesting as possible. Once again, I want to thank Stirling Sim Racing for sponsoring this race. with their Out of This World Racing Series, which you can catch pretty soon there on Stirling Sim Racing. It's going to be you and an AI teammate taking on everyone else. Check out Scott Whiteman's information for more info. John Shermatz there, and the 00 is finally back up towards the front once again. He's got Bill Shermatz there right with him, though, which is going to make this that much easier for him. Shermatz is now up into 4th and 5th. I think they've been trying to be patient for a very long time to get back up towards the front. We've seen them towards the back this entire race, so seeing the Shermatzes back up towards the front is a good sight to see, especially when you have Jason Shermatz as well there running in 7th. So you got a whole clan of them, not just 2. Definitely a more interesting sight to see. It's not often that we get multiple members of the same family, more than just 2 out here. Either that, or it's a really big coincidence that 3 of them are named Shermatz, and if so, that's pretty cool. Alright, so we're going to be doing single file restarts now as we head into turns 3 and 4. Kenneth Passmore is going to be leading the field. He's got Hartman and Cowart there right behind. They are excited to go racing. Alright, with the pace car off, we watch now as they head into the restart zone. You heard my spotter. Green flag, and away we go here at Charlotte. Passmore off to a great start, though. He has the 98 of Hartman there. Very interested in going along the outside. We see the 14 of Cowart there as well. We've seen Andrew Cowart many times here on the channel at twitch.tv/forwardlook, and he is here to play. Coming back up into now, he's going to try to see if he can stick it to the right line to make things interesting. He does. Right now, running that top line, falling behind Hartman. He sees the speed that Michael Hartman has. Cowart can make the right move and stick with him. He's going to get far. However, you know that bottom lane here at Charlotte, especially in the street stocks, is just that little bit faster. So it's going to return back to a single file train pretty soon. Jason Shermatz there in the 7-7, trying to hold off the rest of the field behind as they head into turns 1 and 2. Scott Whiteman running up high. Avoid any of the issues that come along with running with everyone else. It's going to be a current high for him, and that is for Scott anyway, of 10th position. You can see Chambers there pressuring the Shermatz there of every. That is a very intense Shermatz there onto Bill Shermatz from Jess Chambers right onto the bumper. You saw there that 71 onto the 581 until he got through. And now Bill Shermatz has 9th. The street stocks, well, only with a, I think it's maybe 358, I don't remember the exact number, cubic inches, and running a roughly, 300 horsepower setup, and very heavy. They're not the fastest things in the world. Around 145 is where they top out at. However, that is plenty for a track like Charlotte that is 1.5 miles. It essentially turns into super speedway racing as we see a scrape of the wall there out of Mike McNeil there in the 78 street stock. Back up to the front, though, Kenneth Passmore still has the lead as he's holding off Michael Hartman and Andrew Cowart there. We see Angelo Spinoli has been able to catch up. Sinopoli now, sorry, my apologies, has now been able to catch up towards the front of the field as John Shermatz is now going to be battling for the top 5 position between the two. Two wide racing now as they head into the quad oval. See the 00 and the 7 there. See, they are very matched in speed. Sometimes that outside lane, while a little bit slower throughout the turns, you can see it. They have a good run throughout the quad oval and the backstretch, though. And if you're not making that bottom lane just absolutely perfect, they will get the position. through 3 and 4 they go. You can see that idea of trying to run that outside, maybe to take over that bottom lane, like you get to see at Daytona here on iRacing, is coming into play, as Hartman is able to lead a lap there, just ahead of Passmore as they enter turn number 1. They are neck and neck, still racing side by side. Trying to make this race as interesting as possible with about 15 to go. Like I said, neck and neck. You can see them right there. They keep trading positions, who's in front, who's not. You can see that inside lane just that little bit faster. That outside lane throughout the middle between 3 and 4, there is a bump. You'll notice for the high lane, they have to watch out for that. They don't want to get caught out by it and spin. We've seen it before. I think there's a great clip here on the channel somewhere of one of the vehicles there running in the outside lane in a street stock, just absolutely losing it in turn number 4 due to that. As they're almost, yeah, there they go. They're running 3 wide now. 3 wide there for a moment between the 7-7, the 7, and the 14. So it's a day of 7s day. If 7 is your lucky number, I think you are in a fantastic spot. Figuring as you have a multiple of 7, and 2 7s, and then a 7. That is it's not something you see all the time, especially as they continue to run 3 wide. They still have this thing, a little bit of collision there between the 7 and the 14. As the 07 and the 98 continue to battle for the lead. Kenneth Passmore has it as of now. Just that little bit of contact was able to slow Michael Hartman down a little bit. That is Passmore letting Hartman know that he is business. You can see that bottom lane is just working a little bit better now as he's able to pull away just a little bit more. Although that outside lane, it gets its huge run throughout the quad oval and the backstretch. You can see it as the O is now the 7, dives down to the bottom, almost tries to take away the position there from the 00. It does not work out in their favor quite yet. Angelo Sinopoli has a way to go before they're going to get around the 00 of John Shermatz now, who has taken away that second position spot from Michael Hartman. Kenneth Passmore continues to lead as they're 3 wide entering turn number 3. The 98 loses it, collects the 00 and collects the 98, and the caution is out as the 14 is collected. The Chambers just barely avoid it. Scott Whiteman into the wall, trying to slow down to avoid it. The number 67 there of Les Benz destroyed once again, turning into a modified as they roll down pit lane. Man, that was that could have gone better. That's a little bit of an understatement there. So you can see the 41 is currently crab walking. That's not a sight you get to see. And I'm going to leave the camera on that for just a second. That is a very different sight that we almost never see. Just the vehicle trying to walk at a 45-degree angle. That is something else. Alright, we're going to watch once again to see just what happened there in turn number 3 to bring out the yellow. They're 3 wide racing there between the 98 and the 00 and the 14. It looks like the 98 just goes down, wasn't able to hold on to it, hits Shermatz. He's able to hold on to it, although Hartman was not. Collects Andrew Cowart. He pulls down, crashes straight into the 41, who has been running at the rear and finally been able up into the top 10, but just gets absolutely obliterated. Goes up into the wall, takes out the 67. Scott Whiteman just narrowly avoids that. The 6 luckily avoids it too. You can see everyone is all slowed up trying to avoid the stricken 98 of Michael Hartman, as he's now going to be going some laps down due to the numerous incidents. See him there getting his repairs right now in pit lane. Although up front, that has allowed the 07 of Kenneth Passmore to maintain his current leading position. Great spot he is, honestly. He's been doing a great job holding on to that. It's not every day you get to see someone that has not raced a lot so far that you know of here in your league, certainly showing up and doing a great job of putting on a show. 18 cars now left in the field after we started with 21. I believe the last few that we saw earlier on in qualifying were unable to make the grid. And then we saw that earlier on the 12 was taken out. So he continues trying to get their laps in here at Charlotte. The race is almost about to come to a conclusion there on lap number 37. 45 laps is what we've got. I think we're in a good spot to see some good battles for the finish. Now, if this was set up a little bit differently, this would be where I would bring up some people for an interview. However, that is not currently an option available in this current setup of a race. However, if you do want to see that kind of content, make sure you check out Tuesdays and Sundays. That's for Tuesday Night Trucks and Sundays of CASCAR. Those have a little bit more of a strict league session. This one is not. This is a bit more, I wouldn't say recruiting, but bit more of a getting people together so that you can see what everyone is capable of, and potentially those that can race in the Stirling Sim Racing Out of This World Racing Series. Honestly, I'm really excited to start seeing that. I mean, the idea of having an AI partner as you and them try to take on everybody else is really cool, and that's a great idea to come up with Scott Whiteman there. 17. But on a good racing series, I mean, you know, it makes it a lot more about the points and makes it a much more competitive thing while also keeping it clean. I mean, the AI can sometimes be aggressive, but that's something you get to choose. You know, if you want to be, you know, the real big aggressor out of your teammate, then make them a really, you know, more timid kind of driver and just stick it out there and get the consistent finishes. But if you know that you're someone that likes to surrender positions or can't save very well or something, then that's a good time for you to swap. You know, have your AI be really aggressive, and that might have them out in the front a little bit more. Just different alternatives and different ideas and approaches you can have. So cool to think about, and something you don't often get to see, especially on a place like iRacing, where teammates is not something you really often consider unless you're racing up really professionally or you have a bit more of an official league that really takes team points into consideration. Well, with another single file restart, we're going to see Kenneth Passmore there in the 007. Nope. In the 07, as the 77 of Jason Shermatz there is going to be there following behind in second there in his Pontiac Trans Am. Gotta love it. He's going to be leading this field up to start. You can see him trying to bunch up the field right now as they head up now. The early acceleration, that's for sure, as they head up into the green flag zone. Kenneth Passmore is going green. Jason Shermatz there is behind, as they're now going to be getting chased now by the Chambers, who have finally caught back up towards the front of the field. It's been a while since we've seen the 58 and the 58-1. I think that's how they were supposed to make that look. Although I think the 58 and the 59 would have been a cool combination. There as they now head through turns 3 and 4. That outside lane is really working well for the Chambers. This is the point where Jason Shermatz has to decide, is he going to work with the Chambers and help them get past Kenneth Passmore, or is he going to keep working with Passmore to keep him in the lead and potentially him into a podium position? With 6 laps left to go, you can see him still sticking it to the bottom. That's the idea, is your top 4 are running side by side. Everybody's spaced out just a little bit more throughout the rest of the field, as you can see him running by. Great work on that Pontiac Trans Am too. Oh, Clinton Chambers almost loses it there in turn number 4. He's holding on to it, though. I said it earlier, that little bump there in turn number 4 is a killer. Be able to hold on to it, though. We have seen his skill in the past, and it shows there yet again, able to hold on to his street stock to make sure he does not take anyone out. As now Jess Chambers leads the field once again. It's been a while since we've seen that. We only saw that at the start. We're seeing it again. See Kenneth Passmore doing his best to hold on to that bottom lane, does not want to let it go with only 5 laps left to go now as they're racing side by side. Almost a bit of contact there entering turn number 3. Double 7 of it. Jason Shermat's there sticking to the bottom, continuing to help him out. It's a good spot for him. Scott Whiteman there up now in 5th as well. Going to make this even more interesting as that is going to be another driver closing in, getting to choose who he sticks with. He's currently now sticking to the bottom. Let's see if we can continue that bottom lane push. Bill Watkins also behind there in 6th position, doing his best to catch back up as well. We saw him leading some laps earlier on. Good to see even more drivers continuing to be competitive here at Charlotte. Across the line, and it's going to be 3 laps to go. Kenneth Passmore continues to lead, although you can see the Chambers there on the outside are doing anything they can to try to get around. They're almost there. However, that double 7 is continuing to help. They're on the bottom, almost a collision there we're seeing as the 41 now is going to come out and make this even more interesting as that's a lap car they have to get around just exiting the pits. They shoot them all up wide. That's a 3-wide pass they have to make. That is going to make the 581 and the 07 in a very tricky situation. It's just the 2 of them now going to be battling side by side to cross the line. Almost a wreck we had there between the 77 and the 58, but they hold it together. That was a very risky maneuver there from the 41, getting involved in all of that. The bottom lane is still that little bit faster there on the bottom. You can see that relative. They are neck and neck, side by side, lap after lap. 78 is 6th up, and I think the 07 is going to be backing out of this one. He knows the kind of position he's in and does not want to get involved anymore. Not worth it. As Jess Chambers is now going to be taking the lead as Jason Shermatz is going to do his best to chase him down. All right, through the quad oval they go. They are now going to have, that's it, the white flag. Thank you to Pierce Graphics once again for putting together our fantastic overlay package as we run through turns 1 and 2. Jess Chambers has the lead. Bit of a slide there out of Shermatz. He's going to be blocking Clinton Chambers the best he can as Scott Whiteman rides in 4th, holding off the 41, who is a lap down, but is keeping back Bill Watkins and Kenneth Passmore. The 77 and the 58 are into the wall. Scott Whiteman shoots up into 2nd position. Watkins into 3rd. Danny Passmore up into 4th. Kevin Bruner in 5th. That is going to take 2 of those cars out of contention, and that is going to be the checkered flag as Jess Chambers wins here at Charlotte. A great race session indeed as the 581 was able to take home another win. That's another Chambers getting a win, something we're very used to seeing here with the senior circuit group. Different Chambers, though, that got it, though. It's very interesting to see. Congratulations to the 581 for getting the win. With that, that is going to conclude our stream here for tonight here on twitch.tv/4cloak. Make sure you check out Stirling Sim Racing and get to join the Out of This World Racing Series to join your AI and take over everything, and Stirling Sim Racing to promote clean and great racing. I want to thank my sponsors over at Pierce Graphics and Frankenstein Metalworks for letting us put on great streams every time we're able to. That includes Tuesdays and Sundays, most specifically with Tuesday Night Trucks and Cascar, but these occasional streams that we get here on Saturday. Sorry that I've been a little bit quiet throughout the stream, a little bit lower energy than usual. Got to keep it quiet for the neighbors and everybody else around. So the 581 has done their donuts and is there right there on camera. A well-earned position. With that, like I said, that has been our stream. I've been Noah Walter here on twitch.tv/4cloak, and we'll see you next time.